Geekazine and Geek Smack is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network over at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Jeffrey Powers, and you are on episode number 207 of Geeking Out Geek Smack. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for coming. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about Warren Buffett and IBM. No, he's not a singer. He's actually an investor, and we'll talk about that in a minute there. Of course, Facebook and all their problems there with malware and stuff like that. Over on the geek side, we're going to be talking about bicycles, motorcycles, cars, and a lot of other cool stuff. And we're going to smack all the geek out to you right now. But first of all, we are brought to you by Roku. Go over to Geekazine.com/Roku. Of course, that'll give credit to Geekazine, and you can get yourself a Roku for as little as $49. Go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter in the code podcast. You get a 30-day free trial. We'll be talking about that a lot more during the show. Of course, Stitcher.com, go over to Stitcher.com/geek. Stitcher.com/geek. You can win yourself $100. I'm so onto it right now. And of course, Geekazine.com/Wirecast PC for the PC version, or Wirecast Mac for the Mac version, to produce live webcasts like I'm doing right now with a program like Wirecast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've talked too much. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here, and welcome to episode number 207 of the Geek Smack weekly show here over on Geek Smack, over at Geekazine.com, www.geekazine.com, of course, Twitter, Geekazine, or you can email me at geekazine@gmail.com. I got a G Plus page, I got this other page, I got this nice mouse pad. Do you want this nice mouse pad? Here you go, there, you got a nice mouse pad. I don't know why, I just threw it at you. I'm sorry, I could throw other ones at you. I don't have any, do I have any other mouse pads? No, don't have any other mouse pads. One's underneath here. That's where this other one should have been. What can you do? So, hey, everybody. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for coming to the show. If this is the first time that you've come to the show, I can talk a little bit faster because I like to talk a lot faster than I talked before, and then you understand what's going on. Of course, if you put it in a fast forward, then you can really see me talk fast. It's going to be awesome. Awesome. So, anyway, how you doing? I hope you're having a great week. I'm having a pretty interesting week. It's been a pretty fun week. The weekend was a back and forth, of course, trying to get all this blog world stuff up and getting ready for the next show. It's just, whoa! Just tons of stuff, or as Joey would say, whoa! Anyway. Yes, Blog World New Media Expo, the videos have been coming up. You got to go over to the special media feed to check out all the videos. And we got a ton more to go up. I had a 72-hour layover. They wanted to have them all up on Stitcher first, which is understandable. They're audio. They wanted to have people to go to the audio first. And now we're going to put up the video. You can see them up on YouTube right now in their entirety, in their nakedness of YouTube. And of course, I'll be putting them up all during the week. So about 20 videos we got out of that, which is really cool. Check out the Pond 5 if you're a content creator, because they have some special offers over there. But thanks to everybody. Of course, they have the virtual tickets, and I'll get you a link to the virtual ticket if you want to see what they talked about at Blog World New Media Expo, because they had a lot of great stuff for all you social media people, you bloggers out there, and of course, you podcasters, YouTube creators, video content creators, so on and so forth. So, the other cool thing was the Ford embargoes lifted. So I got to talk about Ford. And what did I talk about? I talked about the Mustang. Yeah, Mustang Shelly. Whatever you want to call it. So actually it was really cool. They took us out there and we saw 4 vehicles. We saw a 1965 Mustang and then the 3 new 2013, including the Boss 302, which is coming back. I kind of had my eye on that one. And then, of course, the Shelby, and I was like, the drool, just kind of wiping the drool off my face. But it was a fun time, and they announced a ton of stuff at Ford. The new Ford Flex, the new Ford, all the 2013, are they 2012 or 2013? You know, I remember them saying 2012, but I've been seeing these articles saying 2013. So either somebody's not getting it right, or I just didn't hear it correctly. So if these are the 2013 models, they're a year late or early. 2 years early, something like that. But anyway, it was a fun time over at Ford. Enjoyed it, and thanks to the guys over at Ford. And hopefully, we'll be doing a lot more on there. Of course, we have that interview at Blog World with Scott Monty, which will be coming onto Geekazine very shortly too. So check that all out. Weekend was very stressful. I will not kid you. My bank account was pretty much depleted. When you go out to an event like Blog World New Media Expo, you put a lot of resource into it, and you're not actually doing any work during that week. So that makes things a little bit more tough. And to try and pay bills during those weeks, if you don't have enough built up, then you're pretty much tough. So the bank account kind of dried up. I had to do some different things there. So, if you ever want to donate $1 to Geekazine, I'm more than willing to accept it. I'll tell you on that. But I'm going to tell you something. Yes, I don't know if you noticed this, but we did some small changes on Geekazine.com. The 5 tech things you should know about, it went the way. And it was a good show, and I like to thank everybody that watched the show. But it was time to take it to a new level. I wasn't feeling the passion I used to do. But I'm going to do a brand new show. It's called iPad 365, and I was going to load that video up here. Maybe in the mixdown I'll put it like right here. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine here, www.geekazine.com. Got a brand new show. We're calling it iPad 365. The premise is simple. Starting January 1st, I'm going to be doing a 3 to 5 minute show on the iPad, an application you can get. We're going to be reviewing the application and whether you might want to get it or not. Also be looking at different items for your iPad, anything from cases or adapters, little items that you can add to your iPad. And we'll be doing it every single day for the next year, hence the name iPad 365. Of course, if you do have another tablet, we'll be talking about other tablet stuff too, but we'll be focusing mostly on the iPad and the iPad 2. So come back on January 1st for iPad 365. It's going to be fun, it's going to be fast-paced, and of course, we're going to be reviewing some of the best applications out there for your iPad. My name is Jeffrey Powers, and we'll see you on January 1st for iPad 365. That's going to come to you on January 1st, so check that all out. All right, it is CES time. I got to tell you guys, CES, Consumer Electronics Show, it's probably the most stressful time of the year, this next 12 weeks. Not the actual week or the after effect, but these 12 weeks when we're trying to get money to make sure that we can do what we do at CES. So you get some video, like the videos that we've been producing all this time. For the last 3 years, was 4 years, something like this. It's like 100 years we've been going to CES. That's all that matters. We've done thousands, literally thousands of videos in the primary channel, in the back channel. And now with the sponsors are, I'll tell you something, our sponsors are a little bit harder to find nowadays. So what we've decided was we're going to give you guys a chance to help us fund the CES action. So I put up some links into the show notes. You got to go to the show notes to check it out. Of course, we'll get them up on tpn.tv so you can check it out there. You can also go to any of the other partner shows like Geek News Central, like SDR News, like Fogview, so on and so forth. Donate $25, donate $50, donate $100, or donate your choice. And of course, we'll get you some cool swag. I'll find, if you give us $10,000, because that's our goal. I think $5,000 is goal. But if you give us $10,000, I will pick up swag at every single booth and send it to you. How's that? $10,000. I'll do that. I will do that. But it's all about the videos nonetheless. And with our costs for having an actual booth at CES, to do the live stream, to have the internet connection. Internet connection is something like $3,000, $5,000, $6,000. I think it's $6,000 alone. And it's crazy. So we need to fund that. And there's a lot of people that come out on their own dime, like myself, and hope that we come out with our rear ends not chapped. So if you can donate anything, go over to this site. You'll see all the donation areas. You can donate as little as $25. If you can't donate $25, let me know, and we'll, just donate what you can. That's the important thing. The more money we have, the more we can do, and the better show we can come up with. $5,000 is our minimal goal. If we can get more, it'll be great. So, but anyway, that's enough about that. I know I talked a little bit more. We're on a 9-minute mark. Let's get into your Tech Smack for the week.
Tech Smack.
All right, we're going to start over at Gigaohm. iTunes Match. Of course, with the new version of iTunes comes the iTunes Match, which is their cloud-based walled garden, I guess you could call it. It's still a walled garden, but it's a little bit better. I don't know how it's better, because a lot of people don't like it. Because anybody that has lots of songs, if you've got like 10 songs on your iPhone, go get an iTunes Match. Go use the iTunes Match. If you've got gigabytes upon gigabytes of music into your iTunes and your iPhone, don't use it, because you're going to get blocked and you're going to have to take out some of your music. And now, sometimes you have to, especially if you have like a 16 gigabyte model, you have to really pick and choose the music you have on your iPhone. And I don't do too much back and forth on my iPhone anymore. I should really refresh my music, but to me, not as much of a big deal. But some of you out there use iTunes, your iPhone, to get music. And some of the music you don't get from iTunes. You get it from other sources like Amazon, like Google Music, like, buying it at the store. And now you've got to pick and choose the music. There's a lot that is happening on here. You got the full rundown. We got over at gigaom.com. You can check it out there. But let me tell you something. So far, a lot of people are not really happy. That's interesting how that did that. Look at that. There's no white there. Interesting. Anyway, for those of you on the audio, my lower third looks a little funky. That might have been because it's frozen now. But anyway, I'll stop babbling now. Check this out over at gigaom.com. Mr. Warren Buffett. Let's talk about Mr. Buffett. We'll do it this way. There we go. Everything's back to normal now. Mr. Warren Buffett is talking to MSNBC, and they said, "Hey, I bought 10.7 billion in IBM stock. So what? That's probably just like 5% of stock for IBM, but it bought almost 11 billion in stock in IBM. So." He sits down there and he explains why he decided to do that. Now, IBM, about 5 years ago, they sold off their PC and laptop division to Lenovo, and they focused on a server, an infrastructure. Now, IBM, of course, they're probably one of the best companies poised to any type of cloud computing, although we really haven't heard them too much in the cloud experience. Maybe they're working on clouds more towards the enterprise, like your company or something like that. Getting the products out so you can have your company cloud out there. But IBM's working hard at doing the infrastructure thing, and I think that 11 billion is a great place to put your money into. And I wish I had that much money to put into there. Warren Buffett, if you want to invest, just $10,000 into Geekazine, I'd be very, very appreciative to that, because we've got some new things coming on the horizon. Could use a little bit of money for seed and go from there. Of course, the CES action, just come on over. We'll say the CES action brought to you by Warren Buffett, not Jimmy Buffett. That's two different things. Jimmy Buffett plays music. Warren Buffett's a VC, a venture capitalist. Just kind of define that. Anyway, if you want to check out more, go over to cnbc.com, which is where we have it in the show notes. Show notes. We're going to be talking about ebooks in a couple minutes here. Yeah, show notes. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the ebooks or the tablets and the rise of ebooks and tablets and so on and so forth. And we're going to be talking about the iPad, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But libraries are starting to see the power of the ebook. And of course, as we get away from tactile feel books, which I still buy tactile books. I just bought Steve Jobs' book. And I bought a book before that. I know I bought a book before, and I will buy a book after that. I was in a bookstore 2 days ago. I was looking at the Nook Color, though. But anyway, ebooks are on the rise, and we all know about that, and libraries know about that. And they say, well, we need to catalog ebooks into our library and give people a way to actually check out ebooks and return ebooks. So now they're working on PC, and libraries are working in putting an ebook section into their libraries. And this is a great article over on USA Today talking about it. There was a quote from Christopher Platt of the New York Public Library. He goes, "With more devices for consumers to try, they're going to get better, and the e-reading experience will get better." So they're planning, they're expecting 5-10 years from now, you'll get more ebooks than you will regular books. I think, I don't know, how would the checkout fees work on that? Would you have late fees? I mean, if the ebook is done, it just kind of expires, and that's it. Takes it off your device. We'll see how that works. But if you want to read a little bit more about that, large publishers are working refusing to sell libraries, excuse me, because of some of this issue. So there's a little bit of question rights management and so on and so forth that they have to work out. So check this out over at USA Today. We will stay on usatoday.com because there was another issue, another story that came out. If you didn't hear about it, this social network, it was called Diaspora. And I was actually on Diaspora. It came out at the same time that Google Plus came out. It's in alpha, which is probably why you haven't heard about it. But it's another social network that was trying to get a little bit of the Facebook pie. And it was created by a group of people, and one of them was a guy by the name of Ilya Zitomirsky. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. He was a 22-year-old kid, and they put together this social network. Well, apparently over the weekend, he passed away. And there's no mention as to how he passed away or what and whatnot. It was just said that, he passed away. And Peter Sherman, Diaspora spokesperson, said, Ilya was a great guy, visionary. He was co-founder of a company that hoped to bring a better social networking experience. We're all very sad that he's gone. It's a huge loss for us, including his family. So thoughts go out to Ilya and his family on this sad day. No word of what's going to happen with Diaspora. Of course, he was a co-founder, so there were other people involved. So they'll probably continue on with Diaspora. Diaspora. I think it's Russian for probably social or something like that. If I would have done my research, I would have checked it for you, but I didn't. Sorry. Anyway, you can check this out on usatoday.com. I would guess that it's a different language for something like social. I would guess. Just a guess out of guessing what I guessed about. So, all right, speaking of social networks, let's go over to the Facebook, and we're going to go over to foxnews.com. Facebook has been found that there's some pornography and violent images that were coming out, a little bit more than usual. Apparently on Monday, they found massive wave of these being posted to the website. Now they're trying their darndest to make that go away, but you'll see things like Justin Bieber in questionable positions. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see something really weird, last week I saw this guy with a big zit on the back of his neck. Don't click on the link. If it links to something.info, don't click on the link. Don't click on it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, if you want to read more on this, go over to foxnews.com. Just be careful out there. You know better to be careful out there, and just be a little bit extra careful out there. And let your friends know. If mom's on the Facebook, let her know. If grandma's on the Facebook, let her know, and go from there. All right, we're gonna move to Technorati. Of course, the big news is Google TV's going for Google TV Wave 2, and Logitech saying, we've been burned once. We're not going to get burned again. The Logitech Review is the name of their program. You probably heard about it because I talked about it last year, and it was the device that they put a lot of money into, but they lost $100 million on that deal. And now Google's saying, hey, Google 2's coming out, and Logitech is going, I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I kind of side with Logitech because Google came out with this. Yeah, this is going to be the biggest thing since sliced bread. And Logitech was all behind it. And then Google just kind of disappeared after all the TV stations. They started blocking Google TV. And so they just kind of disappeared. And everybody was wondering, I bet you Logitech, they probably had some conversations with Google and said, blah, 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 and wah, 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 and wah, 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 and words I really can't talk about on the show because it is a child-safe and friendly show. But I bet you Logitech is saying, you, and I'm out of here. I blocked those words out. I didn't even need the beep. I didn't beep or anything like that. So pretty impressive. But anyway, what do you think? Do you have a Logitech review? There's a lot of question as to whether it's going to get the newer version of the Google software, which apparently does a lot of fixes. So if you do have a review, you might only be seeing some of the content. You might see some content error out. Would you want to see review at least update to the newest version of Google and then say, hey, you're on your own? Maybe review should come back to it, the lawsuit. I don't know. Man, they've probably checked all that stuff right now, but you could probably still get a review, $100 box. I bet you'll get them for $50 within the next week, because if they don't do any type of update, then why have the box anymore? So check that out. It's over at technorati.com. Do you have an iPad first generation Nano? iPad Nano, first generation iPad. That's how you say it. Do you have one of those? Well, if you do, there is a recall. You've probably heard about this, but I'm going to talk about it again, and I'm going to tell you the importance of actually getting this recall. Even you might say, well, it's sitting in my drawer. Why should I even bother to do the recall? Well, do the recall, and then you could probably turn around and sell that iPod Nano for a couple dollars more, because it's got a brand new hard drive in it. That's what they're I think that's what it was, the battery that they were replacing. They recalled the first generation Nanos sold between September 2005 and December 2006. The battery may overheat, so they'll put in a new battery for you. If your iPod Nano's battery died, now you'll be able to get a replacement iPod Nano battery, and you might be able to sell it or give it away for a holiday present. That's another thing. Give it to somebody that doesn't have an iPod Nano. I don't have an iPod Nano. I gave away an iPod Nano back in 2007, but I don't have that. It's actually, they took the Zune, if I remember correctly. But the bottom line is that if you've got it, go get it fixed, and then give it away or sell it if you're not going to use it. So there's a lot of things like the Kangaroo website, the recycling website, stuff like that you can go and you can get top dollar for these types of electronics. Do it now. And you might be able to get some more Christmas presents for people. Anyway, LATimes.com for that article right there. 2 more articles will get you into the Geek Smack crap and the Geek Smack. AMD sends bulldozers to war. Anyway. Yeah, AMD is coming out with some new server processors. They're releasing both the 8-core and the, take the drool off the chin, 16-core server processors. And they're targeting processors in 3 segments on the server market: corporate data centers using virtualization technology, web-scale data centers supporting public and private clouds, and high-performance computing. So I want that. I'm high-performance computing. I do a lot of high-performance. Just give me that 16-core chip and put it in a nice laptop or something like that. My MacBook, it's 4 cores. It's technically, it's an i7. So it's 4 cores with virtualization, so technically 8 cores. But wouldn't it be nice to have 16 cores with 16-core virtualization? Whoa! Or, whoa! 1 and 2. If you want to read more on this, go over to wired.com. But, within a year or two, you're going to see 16 cores on your desktop. And then you're going to see 16 cores into your laptop. And then you're going to see 16 cores into your tablet, which will be like Super Drool right there. All right, last part of tech news, and then we're going to get you in the Geek Smack crap and Geek Smack. And that is Mr. Solomon Rushdie. Yes, he's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. You might think, well, he died years ago. I know that. Actually, it was funny because I actually asked somebody last night. I was watching the Packer game at a local bar and said, you know who Salman Rushdie is, right? And he goes, yeah, didn't he die like 10 years ago? No, he's still alive. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, Salman Rushdie has been in a little battle with Facebook because apparently he put his name down on Facebook there, and they said, hey, you're not Salman Rushdie. We're going to just knock you right off. Did the same thing with Twitter. And Twitter said, nah, Salman Rushdie's dead. Yeah, I don't know if they said that or not, but they might have thought, oh, isn't he dead? I thought he was dead. I thought, there's a lot of people that I think that are dead. They're actually still alive. Hey, it happens. So Salman Rushdie's still alive, and now he's back, and he's on Facebook, so check him out over at Facebook. I don't know if he's on Twitter or if his account got unblocked. They turned him into Ahmed Rushdie. So, which is technically, is how he's identified on his passport. So if you want to follow Solomon Rushdie, there you go. Of course, if you want to read this article, go over to NewYorkTimes.com. You go to the show notes, and that will show you how to get there. How to get there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you how to get to the next section, which is the Geek Smack Crap, and we're going to do it right about now. I'm so prepared for this section. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you doing? And we're going to be talking, I love to do everything online, and it's probably one of the best things to do things online, and meetings online, just as cool as doing this online. And that's why I use a program like GoToMeeting. In fact, we used GoToMeeting at we just had the planning meeting for CES on Saturday. And we all got up there, and we got up on the HD faces so we could see everybody's bright and shining face on a Saturday morning. No, it was Saturday. It was a Saturday. It's like we're working on a Saturday, which kind of bites. But what can you do? And you think about it, it's like, okay, you got the kids, yeah, you got the family, and you need to do a meeting. You can't drive into work, so what are you gonna do? Even during the week, you never know if there's a kid emergency or something like that. And then the kid's sleeping because they're sick or something like that, and you've got an hour to spare, and you need to do a meeting. So you could call up Citrix and go to meeting, even if everybody else is in a meeting room. You can call it up, and you got HD faces, so you can see their bright and shining faces. They can see your bright and shining face, and go from there. It's a great program. It's a program we use all the time, and it's never failed us. It's crisp. It's clear. They can see your desktop. You can see their desktop. Can't go wrong. It's a program you need to have into your business toolbox. Don't take my word for it. 30-day free trial. I'm giving it to you. Here's 30 days for free. Just go over to gotomeeting.com. Click the Try It Free Now button. Enter in that code podcast. That's what helps Geekazine and everything like that. And then you're going to get a 30-day free trial to do all the business you need, make some money, and then keep going with GoToMeeting, because it's a program you need to put into your toolbox, period. So, like I said, don't take my word for it. Go over to gotomeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter in that code podcast, 30-day free trial. And that's over at gotomeeting.com. Thanks to Citrix for supporting the Geek Smack. Geek Smack Crap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for some Geek Smack Crap, where we smack the crap out of it in a little turkey action and stuff like that. Maybe a little boxing action. You want to put him up, put him up, put him up. No? Okay. Well, if you don't want to box at all, well, maybe you should go over to Hammacher Schlemmer, because they got some boxers, and it's really cool. And it's like bumper cars meets boxing. And here, let me show you. Go over here. Check this out. They're called the Bionic Bopper cars. And basically what you do is you're gonna stand in those little cars. I think you might be able to sit down too, so you can run around. So you can use them like regular bumper cars. But if you want to do some boxing, you just stand up and you run the little controls. And it's like the Rock'em Sock'em Boxer, like this thing right here. Right here, the Rock'em Sock'em boxing machine right here. I just killed him. Okay. So, yeah, you can do that in real life with the Bionic Bopper cars. If you got $17,000, you can do that. You might want to get them now, so they'll be there for the holiday season. So, if you want to check that out, go over to hammacherschlemmer.com. And we're going to stay on Hammacher Schlemmer because, there was another cool thing here. The one thing that a lot of people say is, oh, I don't have any time to exercise. I don't have any time to exercise at all. And I need to work at my desk. Well, hey, we got something for you here. And this is actually not as much crap as it is kind of useful. You've seen those desks where they raise and they lower. So if you could stand and work, you could sit and work. But you could also sit on an elliptical and work. And that's what this is all about. This is the elliptical machine office desk, and as you can see, it's pretty nice and clean. They got a couple things here. I'm not sure. I think that's the phone that's in the middle there, but then you have the computer screen. It's Got to be modular. So I bet you if you wanted 2 or 3 computer screens or something like that, you could do that. The desk goes up and down, but you can see that she's sitting on a office chair that has an elliptical machine underneath her feet. So she can kind of work out as she is working out, I guess. That works. And of course, if she just wants to sit in a regular chair, all she has to do is grab a regular chair and slide everything over. That's what those little tracks are for, to slide the monitor over and the keyboard over, so you can work there, and the elliptical just stays right there. Or if you choose to, hey, I want to stand there, you just stand up and you lift the table, and boom, there you go. You've got you've got a full workstation there. This would be kind of cool for in the Geek Bar here, I think. And then I get some exercise done. So, but anyway, $8,000. That's actually cheaper than the $17,000 bopper things. So check that out, and that's over at Hammacher Schlemmer. But once again, hey, what would it be about ellipticals and working out if you didn't have pickles? What? Pickles? How about talking pickles? How about yodeling pickles? Yodelay-hoo. Well, that's where we're going from here. We're going from ellipticals to pickles. What am I talking about with the pickles? Anyway, it's called the Accoutrements Yodeling Pickle. And you press the button, and apparently it yodels. And it's a lot cheaper than $8,000. It's only $1,107, and you can get yourself a yodeling pickle. Of course, if you want to get a yodeling pickle and then send it to me, you're more than welcome to. I'll send you my address, and you can send me a yodeling pickle. Do you have a yodeling pickle already? I bet you don't have a yodeling pickle. And that's going to be what makes a great holiday gift for all of you out there. But I'm going to tell you something. We got more than just yodeling pickles. We've got a whole Geek Smack coming at you in about 2 seconds here. And we'll be right back with some more Geek Smack in the crap. Stop dreaming, start streaming. That's what Roku says, and I completely agree with them. The Roku 2 is like the cat's meow to anything for live streaming any kind of content, whether it be your Netflix, your Amazon, maybe this show, possibly this show, and a whole lot more. And that's the beauty of Roku. And now they still have the 3 flavors up on Roku's website, but there's actually now the 4th flavor. For as little as $49, you can get yourself a Roku over-the-top television system, so you can stream direct to your TV, your Netflix, your Hulu Plus, the Tech Podcast Network, Twit, Coldcast, you have Fast Pitch, HBO Go is coming to the Roku, and a whole lot more. You got a lot of great options. It's a great little box, and I use it all the time. When I watch over-the-top television, when I'm upstairs relaxing, I'm watching it on a Roku because I can access the stuff. And then every now and then I can just play some Angry Birds. That's at the $99 level, but you do have that option to get that. So prices start at $49, so it's a great holiday gift. So go over to geekazine.com/Roku. Of course, that's going to help Geek Smack and all the Geekazine properties. Geekazine.com/Roku. And you can find out how you can get yourself a Roku Entertainment Center for as little as $49 and no more than $99. It's the all-new Roku 2, and that's geekazine.com/Roku.
Geek Smack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time to get in your Geek Smack, and we have a chuck-loaded amount of Geek Smack in this week, so I don't know where I'm going to start. How about I start at the beginning? That's not a bad idea. We're going to start over... We're going to start over at VentureBeat.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of course, on the Day in Tech History, I talked about the 4004 chip being 40 years old. The Xbox is about 10 years old now, the launch of Microsoft Xbox video game console on November 15th of 2001. And, of course, 10 years later, we have the Xbox 360 and the Kinect and all that stuff like this. So they got a multi-part here called How Microsoft Unleashed a Video Game Revolution. Really cool for some of you Xbox geeks, game geeks out there. If you want to read a little bit more about it, you can go over to venturebeat.com and that will get you to this article right here. So the making of the Xbox, a 10-year journey on there. Think about it. The Xbox and the iPad or iPod, they started some revolutions in technology. So, speaking of revolutions in technology, how about if a robot was to come up to you and say, lift your arm, and you go, I'm not going to listen to you, robot. Hey, why is my arm just lift? Oh my God, the robots just controlled me. Crazy. Well, it's very possible nowadays, and that's what they're studying over at where is this? It's over on Spectrum, IEEE.org, the Spectrum. They're working on an experiment, and they're saying it's about human-machine interaction. It's a French research team, and they hooked up electrodes to a person's arm, and they wanted to see how if the robot can control the arm to actually, in this case, put this ball into the net that the robot is holding. So the robot will control the human's limbs by sending electrical currents to electrodes, tapes to the forearms and biceps, and tell him where to go without telling him what to do. And they had some success on this, and they've been working on this. Now, what does this mean to you and me? This could mean that we could actually have a robot go into a very questionable area, have a bunch of soldiers with all these suits on, and then the robot could actually be guiding these soldiers in, viewing some camera that's on their suit, or some other situation, guide them through a difficult process like a surgery or something like that, and not have to tell them, but just kind of use electrodes to guide the muscles for them. Pretty interesting stuff. I'm wondering if they're also looking at ways to help people that have issues, they can't move their arm or something like that because of an injury or something like that. But pretty interesting stuff. You can check that out, like I said, over at spectrum.ieee.org. Go over to the show notes. Click on the link there. Going over to Gizmo, if you're always inundated with paparazzi, I know it happens to me all the time. Pictures here, pictures there. I gotta lock down this place. It's crazy, I tell you. So I'm gonna get a pair of these because these are kind of cool. These are called the Impress the Paparazzi sunglasses. That's what they're. It's just a piece of plastic over, I guess, glasses frames, and $7.50. They're pretty cheap. But it's like blocking out eyes. So they don't have to then ask for things like release forms or anything like that. I don't know. You need to sign a release? I actually signed a release to be on the .tv network, which was kind of cool. CC Chapman interviewed me. I don't know where those videos are, though, just yet. They haven't told me that stuff. But if you want to check out these glasses, I would have worn those glasses on the show, by the way. Ogizmo.com for that. All right. Did you know that Batman was born on February 16th in 1971? That's what the League of Ordinary Gentlemen say. It's ordinarygentleman.com. And apparently they have the full medical rundown of Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Batman. Wait a minute. No, he's not Batman. He's Superman. That's right. He's Superman. I forgot. Anyway, they talk. I don't know if this can't be HIPAA approved. But they got the full rundown of Bruce Wayne on this article. So go over to ordinarygentleman.com. You can check that out for all you comic Bruce Wayne geeks. We got an article that did not load here. It's over on geekalogie.com. Oh, yeah. Check this out. This is just going to scare the bejesus out of you. Apparently, they made some underwear, and I think this is in Japan or is this in China? They're called calorie shapers. They're resin-coated biker shorts, sparkle panties, and they're stiffer than boxers and briefs. And when you walk for 1.5 hours a day per week, you can burn enough additional calories to offset a bottle of beer. A bottle of beer. Not a case of beer, a bottle of beer. And, of course, you're probably going to be pretty darn chafed during the whole process. So I don't know if this is going to be a thing here. It's $32, so I don't know how many yen that would be. But if you need to walk off a beer, walk faster, that would be my suggestion. But if you want to wear this underwear, go for it. It's over at geekalogie.com if you want to check it out. Would you wear a pair of underwear like that? I'd say let me know, but I really don't want to know if you do. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. So anyway, check that out over there. Going over to Engadget, This is actually pretty cool. This is for all you product geeks out there, all you people that have to have the expensive handbags. You know, I tried to have some expensive handbags, just didn't really work out for me. But that's beyond the point with me. Over on Engadget, they're talking about what are called NFC chips, and these are little chips that they're going to actually put into handbags. Verified handbags. You know, when Prada makes a handbag, they're going to put a little chip in there, embed it into the stitching or something like that. So you know that it's an actual handbag made by Prada. And how would you know? Well, you pull out your smartphone, you'll download an application, and then when you go to purchase the device, you say, wait a minute, let me check on this. You'll open up the smartphone application, you say, verify now, and it'll look for this NFC chip. And then it'll verify for you, yeah, this is an actual Prada bag. It's like, okay, I'll buy it. And this is to keep the knockoffs, the people with the knockoffs trying to take your thousands of dollars, because some of this stuff does cost, some of this stuff does cost thousands of dollars. Crazy $1,000 for a handbag. I don't know, maybe I'm in the wrong business. If you want to check out more on this, go over to Engadget.com for all you product geeks, and I have some product geek fans out there, and they've probably paid $1,000 for a handbag. I don't know. DreamWorks has announced, this is for all you animation geeks out there, DreamWorks announced that they're found what they're calling the holy grail of digital animation. It's more of a, Jeffrey Katzenberg told the audience at, what was it called? The Techonomy Conference. That's what it called. They've been working hand in hand with Intel to rewrite software so they could scale multi-core processors, allowing them to achieve advances to revolutionize the animation process, and more of a what they're calling more of a real-time animation process. So they could actually have, they could say, okay, we want to take this, as you're talking about GeekSmack, we've got all your numbers, all the plots made out on the computer there. So as you're actually doing GeekSmack, you could actually have an animated version being made as you go. And we could have it in high res, so we could actually put it out as a movie in IMAX with 3D animation within an hour or something like that. And that's where I'm exaggerating big time on that. Don't take what I just said and say, well, Geekazine just said this, and that's how it's going to work. No, it doesn't work that way. But that's what Katzenberg is saying. We're trying to get to that level, and we've made some great strides. So we might see some more DreamWorks animations out there going out a lot faster. So will it be good or bad? I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. Looks like I'm running out of juice on the laptop here. I guess I had a lot of stuff to do. Let's go from here. Let's check this out. This is called Shimano, and what this is a electronic bike gear. So, if you've ever taken a bike apart before, you know that they have this little cable that goes to the handlebars that you can change gears. Well, now that's all getting an electric redo. So now you press a button and it'll change the gears for you. You want 10 speeds, you want 2 speeds, boom, it's going to do it from there. It's going to be pretty cool, but it's around the $4,000 to $8,000 price range. So if you really want it, you're going to have to pay for it. Engadget.com, I wouldn't be surprised that eventually it will get knocked down to a more palatable price. But right now, $4,000 for that Shimano. Speaking of bikes, this is actually really cool. This is over on device.com. It's the Suzuki's Q Concept car. It's kind of like a car and a motorcycle, and it's electric. I believe it's electric powered vehicle. And it looks really funny. It looks like something you'd see in a Mario Brothers situation. I don't know. How much? Yeah, I got enough juice in here. But anyway, Suzuki's Q Concept. They're getting this going. It's an 8-foot 3-inch long vehicle that will get you to and fro. I don't expect it to take long travels or anything like that. It's a good smart car. It'll save on gas and get you to and fro in the city or wherever you need to go. So, but yeah, you could probably play Mario Kart with these vehicles. They're probably going to be pretty expensive. They were at the Tokyo Auto Show, so there's no real price on it just yet. But you can check that out over at device.com. All right, last part of Geek Smack Crap, and then we're going to get you into the main subject, and we'll get you on your way. If you are a Harley Davidson fan, you got to go over to eBay right now. If you got the money, too. because this is probably going to be not cheap. But Harley Davidson, somebody is selling on eBay a 1929 Harley Davidson jet rocket fueled motorcycle. The price right now, they say the buy it now price is $25,000. Not too bad, I suppose. But if you want to get about 200 miles per hour, you can get this twin jet powered 1929 Harley on eBay. Now, before you go buying this, I bet you there's going to be a lot of issues that you're going to have. And one of the issues is somebody's probably going to say, we're not going to sell you the parts, the fuel, so you can actually run this motorcycle. I might be wrong. I might say, oh, yeah, go for it. Run yourself off a cliff, dive yourself into a mountain like the urban legend says. What the hey? Go do it. Go do it. Have some fun. Would you want to go 200 miles per hour on a motorcycle? I don't know. Somebody did. They made a jet-fueled Harley to do it. So if you want to check it out, go over to device.com. Of course, like I said, show notes are always at geekazine.com. Would you ride a 200 mile per hour motorcycle? Can you do it while saying, I love Geekazine? And then record the video and send it to me? Send it to me over at twitter.com. Geekazine is my Twitter handle. Geekazine@gmail.com is the email address. You can also call me. 608-205-4378. It's the phone number. We always have that there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is your Geek Smack for the week. Let's get into your featured subject and get you out of here. But first, we go here. Of course, we support Stitcher and Stitcher.com because they got a great program over there. You can listen to your podcasts like the Geekazine, Geek Smack Show, The Day in Tech History, and a whole bunch of other podcasts on the go through your mobile device, whether it be an Apple device, whether it be an Android device, whether it be a BlackBerry device, whether it be a Web OS device. You've got multiple options and a great program in Stitcher. Plus, they have a whole lot more over on Stitcher.com. But the cool thing is you can win yourself $100. How do you do that? By going over to Stitcher.com/geek, Stitcher.com/geek, and that will get you an entry once you put in the promo code GEEK, and then, of course, enter in your email address, and that'll get you an entry into the chance to win $100. And they draw $100 at the end of each month, so it's a pretty cool little device. And even if you already have it, go download it again and win yourself $100. That's over at Stitcher.com/geek. And of course, that helps the Geekazine podcasts and Geek Smack. So check it out and become more mobile with your podcasts on the go with Stitcher. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thanks a lot for checking out the show at Geek Smack, thegeeksmack.com or geekazine.com. We also have the show, The Day in Tech History, over at www.dayintechhistory.com. And, of course, the new show called iPad 365 coming out very, very soon. So check that. Once again, if you have an application that you want me to review, Twitter me at Geekazine, and I'll put that into the list. We're going to do 365 episodes of iPad 365. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. And if we have to do more, we'll do more. But anyway, let's get into your main topic, as I got 10% remaining on my battery here. I should have grabbed the power supply and plugged it in, but I didn't. What the hey? The iPad, of course, the iPad's been pretty iconic and actually turning around into a brand new market of tablets. We've had tablets way before the iPad, except they were basically laptops that you would flip the screen around, and you'd close the screen, and then you'd run a little pen across the screen, and that would be your tablet. And there were a lot of great tablets in the years past, but the iPad was the one tablet that really brought the system to life, brought things to life, and made us be able to use in a small, compact format. The computer's starting to shut down now, so I better get going with this, right? So anyway, for the last 2 years, iPad has pretty much been alone. There's been other tablets that tried to come across, and they really didn't succeed too much. But now, with Kindle coming out with a tablet, the Kindle Fire, which should be coming out to people right about now, and the Nook coming out in the next day or two, there's some decent competition in the holiday market for different types of tablets other than the iPad. So that means that Goldman Sachs, they decided to let their people know, well, you might want to hold off on buying an iPad because prices might get cut in the holiday season. And take it to heart, but don't take it too much to heart. It's really about the Apple way, the quality over quantity that you could get with an Apple product versus a Kindle or versus a Nook. Now, first of all, we got to say the Kindle, the $199 Kindle does have a dual core processor. I don't know the size of the dual core processor. It does have less memory than the iPad. The Nook has a single core processor, if I remember the stats correctly. And of course, it doesn't. They're both at 8 GB models as opposed to the 16 GB $499 iPad. Apple's strategy is never to go backwards, and I would be surprised if they tried to go a little bit backwards on this too, because it just doesn't make any sense. What they would probably do is they'd offer maybe an 8 GB iPad for $100 less. That's what I'm expecting to see in the market come Christmas. They'll come out with a, hey, we've got this model, or the iPad 1 for $250. That would make the most sense. And the computer just shut off there. So let's just kind of raise that down. But anyway, I can't do that. Okay. The whole point is this. If you're expecting a $499 iPad 2 16 GB flavor, not going to happen. I don't think it'll happen. If they do make it happen, they've got a lot of overstock and they want to get rid of it, which I don't see that happening. Make way for the iPad 3, I suppose. Now, what Apple has been working on is that backwards model where, when the new model comes out, the older model gets a discount price. We saw it with the iPhone. With the 4S, you get it for $200. The 4 you get for $100 now. And then my 3GS is pretty much absolutely free. So you can have an iPhone. And I have a feeling that when the next model comes out, you'll be able to get an iPad 2 for a decent price, but an iPad 1 will be pretty much free with any type of contract or something like that for somebody. That's where we're going to get eventually with tablets. I mean, it's going to be like paper. You're going to buy it for 99 cents. Like with Caprica, you had folded paper and then you can write on it and it'd just be a computer. That will happen eventually. The way that we work through technology, I bet you within the next 20 to 30 years, we'll have something very, very close to that. But right now, you're going to have a $400 iPad, $500 iPad, you might still have it during the holiday season. Even though Goldman Sachs is saying, wait, sometimes waiting is not an option. And maybe you'll end up waiting for something that you really didn't expect. Like maybe a $300 iPad that's 8 GB, iPad 2 that's 8 GB, or an iPad 1. And do you really want an iPad 1 or did you want an iPad 2? Apple's not going to cheapen anything else in there, so it'll still be it'll still have all the other decent features into it. It'll just be less memory. That's my guess, is Apple's not going to go backwards, even though there's stiff competition in the Kindle Fire and the Nook Color. And we're getting some reviews coming out very, very slowly here. And they're going to ramp up once everybody starts getting their tablets and stuff like that. And we'll know that if it's a great tablet or if it's a POS, point of sale system. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But if it is, then all of a sudden it becomes vindicated and iPad goes, well, why should we change our $500 price if these other tablets aren't really cutting the mustard? We'll see what happens, and we'll see how the public sways. I mean, they might be seeing a Kindle tablet but thinking, oh, that's just an ebook, because they think Kindle and they think ebooks. They think tablets when they think iPads. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. There's so much that could change. HP could come back into the game. There could be a brand new OS that comes out of the gate that's 10 times better than any of these other ones. But right now, the iPad is $499. If you need an iPad now, go get an iPad now. If you want to play the wait game and see if you get maybe $50 to $100 off that iPad, just remember, if you buy an item in 30 days, if they change the price of the item, then you can get the discount rate. Most states have that as a law. So we'll see what happens. I really hope that iPad decides to drop their price. I really do. But the reality is I don't think they're going to drop their price for 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte, and 64 gigabyte iPad. You might get an 8 gigabyte iPad out of the whole situation. What do you think? Do you think that they will drop the price? Do you think that they won't drop the price? Do you think that the Kindles and the Nooks are going to actually take a good amount of market share? Let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine, geekazine@gmail.com. And, of course, call the hotline at 608-205-4378. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I try to make it less than 50 minutes. We're at 55 right now, and there's just a lot of news and a lot of geek news. So if you want me to shape it in some way, shape, or form, if you said, hey, I don't think you should have put in that article, let me know. The more that you tell me, the more that I shape the show and make it a little bit more palatable for you. And you, and you, and you. So, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching the show, though. Thanks for listening to the show. And come back next week. We will have it'll be the holiday edition, Eating the Turkey, on episode number 208 of Geek Smack. And, of course, if I get very ambitious, I'm actually probably going to move the Geek Bar upstairs during the winter months because it kind of gets a little bit cold down here. My name is Jeffrey Powers. This show is under a Creative Commons no derivative license, which means give it to your friends. Give it to your friends' friends. Give it to your friends' friends' friends. If they sell to anybody, hey, give me my cut. I need some cash badly. My name is Jeffrey Powers, and of course, remember our CES action coming up very soon. If you can donate, don't $25, $50, $100 level, and we'll be very appreciative for all those videos that we're going to get out to you for absolutely free. So, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you next time on Geek Smack. Next week, of course, check out the Day in Tech History every single day, and then the new show, iPad 365, coming January 1st. You guys take care.